Hi, Vineyard Church. My name is Linda Baker, in case you have not met me. My husband Bob and I have been members of church for 12 years, and we have a home group on Tuesdays. The story kind of starts 50 years ago. We bought a home here in Marysville. It's our first home, and the neighbors next door moved in shortly afterwards with a family of 4 children, and our kids played in the neighborhood, and we got to be real good friends of theirs. And I thought so much of that family. Well, a few weeks ago, Bob and I was out at Culver's. We were eating, and somebody came up to us, and here it was, their son, and he said, "Would you just cover my mom in prayer? She's in the hospital. She's had a heart attack, a stroke, and she's just really struggling, and they give her 14 days to really know what's going to come of this, and I just ask you to cover in prayer. She's paralyzed on the left side completely, no feeling at all." And I said, "Well, sure," and we did cover her in prayer. And it wasn't very long after that, the daughter-in-law called and said, "Well, I'm late getting you," and she sounded very troubled, but she said, "Mom's just take a turn for the worse. It's time for a feeding tube, and she definitely does not want that. That's her wishes, and we all know it, so I guess we'll have to follow that." And they're moving her into a hospice room where she'll have care. So I just said what I felt like God put there. It was just wonderful. I just took over, and they just kept saying, "Oh, thank you so much for what you're saying." She said, "I've heard things I haven't heard. I just have not heard that yet." A few days, we got another call, and I every time the phone rang, I wondered, well, what's it going to be? I thought of her. And she said, sure enough, she had passed away, and she had went with her Lord, and they seemed assured that she was where she was meant to be, and she was with family, and she again continued how those words had been so wonderful. They were just what she needed to hear. So even when we went to the funeral home, they still went on about that. And I just feel so much that word kind of got around through the family. And I will tell you, we have had one meeting with them. We've eaten. We were snowy night. We were out at Frisch's, and there wasn't anybody in there, thank goodness, because I think we were there 3 hours before we got out. And so I look forward to sticking with that. And I think it'll be just, I know it's going to be another continuation of what God's planning here for the needs there in the family. And God just gave me this vision this morning that you don't get all those kind of signs go do it. You just see somebody in need, and you just see it like it's your child laying there on the walk, all skinned up and bleeding and crying and screaming, and that's how God sees us when we struggle. And that's how you should, it's that feeling you see, like I want to go pick them up, I want to do for them. When you feel that, just go with it.